Hey guys, what's going on? Late night, I just finished up my last call of the day. Today's been a crazy day. Today was shipping day, which meant books and t-shirts went out to folks who had placed orders. Invoices went out for coaching today. Um, what else? A couple client meetings. Like, it's really been a crazy, hectic, busy day. What's going on, Tanisha? So anyway, today we are on week 14. You guys know on Mondays I release what the new book for 30 books in 30 weeks is going to be. And this week I am super stoked because I am featuring my own book, Love and Miscarriage. And I'm going to walk y'all through how to pick up the broken pieces of your heart when love dies too soon. And you're going to get a little bit of the backstory. You're going to get a little bit of the behind the scenes. So make sure that you invite some folks to join in. If you haven't done so already, share the video out. If you catch it on the replay, share it out. If you need to order a copy of the book, it's available on my website, marcybatiste.com. I'm telling you. I'm excited. So we're in week 14 of 30 books in 30 weeks. Love Miscarriage is the book. For those of you who don't already know me, in addition to being the author of this amazing book, I'm also a public speaker and a reality-based success and recovery trainer. I live life on Mars. I'm sold out to my happiness all the time, and I love more than anything to help other women shine. And that is why I talk about relationships, and I do things from a reality-based perspective. That's so important, to be in touch with what reality really is. And so helping other women shine, that's my thing. Raising the bar. My 60-day laser coaching program is like a big, huge part of my heart. I love my clients. But really, truly helping other women discover and embrace their star power is what it really is all about. And by me going out on a limb and saying, this year I want to help 1,000 women change their lives. Hey, Dale. That means that I can be the spark and they can ignite the light for someone else. And so it's this whole pay it forward movement. Like you can't beat it, and it fills my soul, and it just lights me up. It gives me life to realize and see this stuff actually coming to fruition and taking place. Hey, Dale. So 30 books in 30 weeks, my personal development journey. We're going from now until June. Need these books. Girl, you do need these books. Go on my website. All my books are on my website. And I'm going to be adding the reading list from the 14 weeks so far. So this week, we're going to talk about Love Miscarriage this week. This is the book that I released a year ago. It has a companion guide, a companion thought guide that goes along with it called Healing by Design. And Healing by Design actually helps you walk through this book. It's a workbook that parallels this book. And so tonight, what I really want to talk about, before we really get into the heart of the matter of this book, I want to share with you guys a little bit about kind of mentally and emotionally what this book is and what it represents. So this is a journal of a lady named Jenna. And I say in the beginning of the book that the names have been changed to protect the guilty. But in any case, it's Jenna's story, and it's excerpts from her journal where she tells you and she shares with you, the reader, her experience of finding what she thought was the most amazing romance, the most amazing love affair of her lifetime. The thing that fairy tales are made of, and movie stories are made of, and books are written about, right? And so it walks you through Jenna's experience of how she meets this amazing guy. His name's Tony, and how she believed it all, right? She wanted so badly to believe it all. And so I wanted to talk about tonight the vulnerability piece and being vigilant about your vulnerability, being vigilant and being aware. When I talk about vigilance, I talk about that awareness factor of really being in tune, and that's that reality based, right? When I talk about reality based coaching, this is what I'm talking about. Being in touch with and in tune with where you are emotionally when you make decisions. And this is, of course, obviously in love miscarriage, we're talking about a personal and intimate relationship, but in general, being aware of where you are emotionally. If you are emotionally in a very compromised, very vulnerable position, I will be the first one to tell you from personal experience, that's not the time for you to be making life-altering decisions. It's certainly, sure as hell, not time to embark on a new relationship. You have to get healthy and you have to get whole, so that you can bring your whole self into the relationship. And so many times we're not in tune with what we are, where we sit emotionally. We want so badly to have these relationships, and we want so badly for things to work out that we're willing to ignore where we truly are emotionally, and we're not in touch with how vulnerable we really are. And so you'll get into a place and you'll find yourself in a position similar to Jenna. And Jenna, it was a little bit unique because when she met Tony, she wasn't looking for a relationship. So it's not like she was out there campaigning for a relationship. It all happened by happenstance. And I did a feature a few weeks ago called God Winks, right, where we talk about the power of coincidence, right? And this is what I'm going to tell you about Jenna. Although Jenna wasn't actively seeking a relationship, she had it deep in her heart that that's what she desired. And so the universe will give you what you desire. It will deliver upon your most inner thoughts and desires, even when you don't verbally speak them out. And so that's why I tell people all the time, my clients especially, we're so cognizant of our thoughts, because our thoughts, once we think them, then we speak them, we say it out into the universe, then they're reverberated back to us, and then we hear them, and then we rethink them. And so you've actually processed, by the time you've said something, you've processed it about 4 times to 1 versus when you hear someone else say it. And so being in tune to, what are my thoughts? Where am I? What does my vulnerability look like? And really being vigilant about managing that level and understanding, you know what? If I have just gone through some stuff, maybe now's not the time for me to make huge emotional investments in some more stuff and really take a step back. I know for me, when I got out of my abusive relationship with domestic violence, I took 1.5 years out of life to get my stuff together. Get my stuff. Y'all know what I wanted to say. My shit together. That's what I had to do. I had to get it together. I had to get my life together. I had to get in touch with exactly why was I making the choices I was making, why was I making the decisions that I was making, so that I wouldn't continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over and over again, getting the same result over and over and over and over. And so Jenna, Tony walks into her life very unexpectedly, and he is, by all measures, everything she ever thought about for her in her life. He was physically exactly what she had wanted. He was handsome. He was charming. Was talented. He was ambitious. He's a musician, so very driven. He understood the entrepreneurial spirit. He understood the value of her having her own freedom and her own independence. He literally was everything she'd ever thought about for a life partner. And so when you're clear about what you're looking for, the universe can produce that for you. But there are nuances where if you're not clear about where you are emotionally and what your capability levels are to process and handle the emotion from start to finish, you can get caught up in some situations that leave you feeling compromised, and sometimes, as in Jenna's case, completely devastated. And so, it really walks through and talks about, like, it tells you she's journaling about the night that she met him, and she describes to you exactly the experience and how it just wasn't anything she ever, when she walked into this bar and she sat down at the table and she listened to this band. She had no idea that that night her life was going to change forever and that it would never ever be the same again. And so no matter what, even when you have to recover the broken pieces, what I know to be true, what I can tell you for a fact without any hesitation is that you may or may not pick up all the broken pieces, but even if you do, it will never be the same again. And that's what we have to get real about. We have to get very honest about. You know, people think that we can enter into and exit out of relationships just willy-nilly and nothing happens. And like, oh, I'll just give it a try. Like I'm trying on a pair of uncomfortable shoes. Well, if you buy those shoes and you keep wearing them over and over and over again, pretty soon you're going to get blisters. Pretty soon you're going to be miserable. Pretty soon you're going to be ready to throw out the shoes. And it's not going to matter how much they cost. Or you're going to be like me and have a closet full of shoes that are freaking uncomfortable because you know you paid too damn much money, so you don't want to get rid of them. People do the same thing with relationships. They think, oh, I've made such an investment in this, I'm going to hang on to it even though I know it doesn't fit anymore. Stop it. Stop it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And how can I tell you it's ridiculous? Not from a judgmental perspective. It's ridiculous, and I know that for a fact because I've done it. I've lived it. I've been in Jennas shoes. I've been in those uncomfortable shoes. I've gotten the blisters. I have a closet full of shoes that don't freaking fit, that I don't want to throw away because I made an incredible amount of investment financially in these ridiculous shoes. I don't even, like, since I left corporate, I don't even have to wear heels that often. Racks of heels. You understand? I don't wear them. I got my house shoes on half the time. Like, that's the beauty of entrepreneurship. I'm not going anywhere. So, I say all that to say, you guys, being very, very clear about where you are emotionally before you make decisions. I don't even care if all we're talking about is buying that pair of shoes. Be honest about why you're making the purchase. Do you really need the shoes, or are you trying to fill a void? Are you trying to do something that's going to make you feel better about yourself? Is it a comfort mechanism? Is it a coping mechanism? Or is it need-based? Is it reality-based? And what I work with my clients on is to really stay in that space of reality, like balancing that. Am I still in reality? Am I in touch with what reality is really trying to tell me? Am I in touch with what the universe is really communicating to me? Or am I operating from that space of vulnerability? Am I muddying up the message and I'm trying to make it into something that it's not? I'm trying to wear a shoe that doesn't fit. Okay, so Recovering the Broken Pieces of Your Heart, Love Miscarriage is our book for week 14. And I can't wait because at some point this week, what's up? Ding it ding! At some point this week, I'm going to read you a poem from this book, and it's called An Open Letter to the Broken Boys Masquerading as Real Men. And I shared this reading at my book launch last year, and a good friend of mine, Christian, did a spoken word rebuttal from a man's perspective, and it was absolutely stunning. It was incredible. And even as the author of the original letter, his words to this day still stand with me and stay with me about the perspective from the man's point of view on why they enter into relationships from a broken perspective. And so I mean, I can't even tell y'all how excited I am this week to share with y'all about this book, because my heart, if y'all knew, Ding is on here. If y'all knew how much I love this book, if you knew how much this project meant to me, you would understand that this ain't no ordinary book. This ain't no ordinary experience, and this won't be no ordinary week of 30 books in 30 weeks. We're going hard in the paint this week, y'all. So make sure that you join in. But I want y'all to think for the next week or so and going forward, when you make a choice, when you make a decision, tell Hope's to go. She said, tell Hope's ass to go home. Hope be sitting on the porch waiting for Tony Leo to get his life together. I swear she's still there. But I want y'all to think this week, when y'all are making choices and you're making decisions, think about the perspective and the level of vulnerability, the emotional space that you're in as you make decisions, particularly if you're making investment decisions. And when I say investments, I'm talking about time, energy, emotion, and yes, finance too. But I want you to look at the whole picture. And how does your emotional position affect your ability to make good investments? Because I'm trying to tell you, when I was emotionally compromised, just like Jenna, emotionally compromised, vulnerable, not really paying attention, because that was the thing. She wasn't out there looking. She just wasn't paying attention to where she was emotionally and what her needs. She wasn't even in touch with what she was needing at the time to realize that when Tony came along and he told the story and she bought the farm that he sold, that he didn't even really have to do that much of a sales job. She wanted to buy the property. She wanted to buy the shoes that didn't fit. All right. So think about that. I will be back tomorrow. Thanks for y'all who joined me so late. I will try and keep this posted on the feed and keep it pumped up tomorrow morning so that y'all can catch it on the replay. But as always, it's also available on my YouTube channel, so you can hit it up on YouTube if you happen to miss it on Facebook, as well as the first 100 days are all on YouTube. I cannot believe it's been 100 days, y'all. 30 books in 30 weeks, 100 days. Today is day 101. This freaking rocks. Have an amazing night, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow about love miscarriage. Have a good one, y'all. Thanks for living life on Mars.